Everything is free when you are rich. Leo learned the value of money long before he ever had it. As a child, he watched his mother count coins on the kitchen table under a weak yellow bulb. She would line them up carefully, as if order alone could make them multiply. Sometimes she smiled and said, "It's enough." Other times she went quiet, folding the coins back into her purse like a secret she didn't want to share. Leo understood that silence. He understood it when he wore the same shoes for 3 years. He understood it when he pretended not to be hungry so his younger sister could eat more. He understood it when dreams felt expensive and hope felt risky. Money wasn't just paper to Leo. It was safety. It was dignity. It was freedom he hadn't earned yet. So he worked. He worked when others slept. He studied when others laughed. He failed more times than he could remember, and each failure hurt more because he didn't have the luxury to fail comfortably. But slowly, painfully, life began to change. Years passed. Leo grew older, stronger, smarter. And one day, quietly, without fireworks, he became rich. Not overnight rich, not lottery rich, but rich in the way that lasts, the kind built brick by brick, sleepless night by sleepless night. That was when the world changed. People spoke to him differently now. They answered his calls faster. They laughed at his jokes harder. At restaurants, waiters leaned in with respect. "Don't worry about it, sir. It's on the house," they said. At hotels, rooms were upgraded without asking. At offices, problems were solved before he even noticed them. Time itself seemed cheaper. Lines disappeared. Delays softened. Mistakes were forgiven. Leo noticed something strange. The more money he had, the less often he heard the word no. At first, it felt amazing. Everything felt free. But freedom has a quiet side people don't talk about. One evening, after another long day of meetings and polite smiles, Leo sat alone in his apartment overlooking the city. Lights stretched endlessly below him, like stars he could touch if he wanted. Yet his chest felt heavy. He couldn't explain it. He had everything he once prayed for, but peace felt distant. That night, he made a small decision that would change him. He told his driver to stop the car early. "I'll walk," Leo said. The driver looked surprised. "Sir, it's late." "I know." Leo stepped out into the night. The street was older here, the buildings shorter, the lights dimmer. This part of the city hadn't learned how to impress anyone. As he walked, memories followed him like shadows. This was the kind of place where he used to live, where dreams learned patience. He passed a closed bakery, its windows dark, a stray bus stop with peeling paint, a stray cat sleeping near a trash bin. Then he saw her. A woman stood beside a small wooden cart selling flowers. Not bright, expensive flowers, simple ones, honest ones, the kind people stopped noticing when life got busy. Beside her stood a little girl holding the edge of her mother's coat. The child's head rested against her shoulder, eyes half closed, fighting sleep. Leo stopped. He didn't know why. He reached for a flower. "How much?" he asked. The woman named a price so small it almost embarrassed him. For a moment, Leo didn't move. That number unlocked something deep inside him, a memory of choosing between needs, of calculating life in small amounts. He paid her 10 times more. The woman froze. She looked at the money, then at Leo, then back at the money as if it might disappear if she blinked. Her hands trembled. "Sir, this is too much," she whispered. Leo shook his head gently. It's right. Her eyes filled with tears. She pressed her lips together, then whispered a prayer so soft it barely reached him. The child looked up, confused but smiling. Leo walked away with the flower in his hand and something else in his heart. Peace. For the first time in a long while, the weight in his chest eased. That night, Leo didn't sleep much. He thought about how strange wealth was. When you are poor, money controls your choices. When you are rich, your choices control money. That difference changes everything. In the days that followed, Leo started noticing things he had ignored before. The security guard who stood for 12 hours straight, the cleaner who arrived before sunrise, the delivery boy who smiled even when it rained. Before, Leo was busy, important, rushing. Now, he slowed down. He started paying attention, and he realized something uncomfortable. When you are rich, people often give you things for free, not because they want to, but because they expect something back. Respect, access, favor. True generosity had become rare around him. So, Leo decided to change that. He began paying fully even when he didn't have to. He tipped generously, not to show off, but to acknowledge effort. He listened more. He spoke less. He learned that money can buy comfort, but meaning must be earned. Months passed. One morning, Leo returned to the same street. The flower cart was gone. For a moment, disappointment washed over him. Then he smiled. Maybe that was a good sign. He walked a little further, and he saw something new. A small shop. Painted modestly, but clean. Bright flowers lined the window. Inside, the woman stood arranging them. The little girl sat at a table, drawing. Leo recognized her instantly. Her smile was different now, stronger. "Because of you," she said softly, "I could start this." Leo shook his head gently. "Because of you, I remembered." She didn't understand, but Leo did. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the buildings, Leo stood alone again, this time not feeling empty. He realized the truth he had been searching for. When you are rich, food may be free, service may be free, even time may feel free. But the greatest freedom money gives you is this: the freedom to give without fear. Fear of tomorrow, fear of loss, fear of becoming nothing. Real wealth isn't about removing prices from life. It's about removing fear from your heart. Leo went home carrying no gold, no trophies, no applause, just peace. And that, he finally understood, was priceless.